Welcome back to Day Planner as we take a live look over Tunica, Mississippi right now. You can see all of the ongoing flooding here as the Mississippi River swells out of its banks farther downstream after a near record crest at Memphis. Will continue to follow the high water downstream all the way to the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, you know what? The Army Corps of Engineers is doing what it can to ease the flooding along the Mississippi River, but it's difficult to control so much water, especially when it's moving so quickly.
Stephanie Abrams and Jen Carfagno have more on the science behind the flooding and what the Army engineers are facing.
Our coverage of the historic flooding in the Heartland continues with more on the staggering amount of water feeding into the Mississippi River.
All right, now one member of the Army Corps of Engineers described it like this.
To use an analogy, in 1 second, that water that's going in front of us right now or behind us right now would fill up a football field 44 feet deep in 1 second.
So it's 2 million cubic feet per second. That fills a football field. We're going to show you what it looks like. A football field, you look at the goalposts, they are 30 feet high. So you're already talking 30 feet. Then you fill in that water in a second. That entire field plus some would be filled with water. That's how much water is actually pressing on the levees in Memphis. They're holding up for now, but that's why the concern is there. It's a large volume.
Yeah, or a 4-story building. That's how high it could be. Another way to see the magnitude is by going to weather.com. And if you check out the flood tracker, that's what it's called, you'll find pictures of before and after. We're going to show you a couple here. April 29, 2010, the Mississippi, Ohio, Wabash, Black Rivers. You can see the land, and then you can see the blue where the rivers are out of their bank of the picture April 29, 2011.
It's amazing. In Memphis, the Mississippi River, usually a half-mile wide. It is 3 miles wide right now. The second picture we're going to take you to is farther north. It shows the Mississippi and Ohio rivers coming together. Here's a look before. You can see, what we typically would see. Then we take you to after. This is a year later. Look at how swollen the river has become and how far it's out of its banks.
Now, one of the major reasons why Memphis is having such a tough time is because of topography. Google Earth shows just how flat the land is along the Mississippi.
There's no buildings, no hills or mountains to slow the spread of water. It's very, very flat, and water just goes. John Felt, a hydrologist with the National Weather Service, he told Paul Gudlow last night that this water has a long way to travel.
Keep in mind, at Memphis, we have 1.9 million cubic feet per second going through. That's 3 times the normal flow of that river, 3 times. So it's a tremendous amount of water, and that's going to go slow. It's going to take a long time as it goes down the Mississippi River, and by the time it gets to the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to be another week, and we're going to get major flood through most of that stretch of the river from today all the way into next week.
All right, and that is a look at one aspect in the science behind the flooding.